Watchers, welcome back to Perth Watch, your horology channel broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today is obviously a straps review. As you can see here, it's not a multiple watch review. StrapsCo is the company. Now, most people have probably heard of this. I've definitely heard of them, but I was surprised when they reached out recently that I've never had a collaboration with them. So glad to be able to get a bunch of 24mm straps as well as a smaller strap for the wife's watch here. 24mm because it was driven by this watch, which I reviewed recently, and I found that I didn't like the leather strap. I wanted to swap it out, and I didn't have any 24mm straps in the house except for one single NATO. So I've got a few more now. Thank you to StrapsCo. Okay, so first up, I'm just going to go from left to right here because I wanted to feature this lovely watch, my Panerai, with the straps that I have gotten, because you got to get more straps for a Panerai, right? What's a Panerai without straps to swap it onto? All right, first up, guys, this is their silicon rubber with pre-V buckle. So this big kind of wide buckle, pre-Vendome buckle is what they kind of name these, affectionately known as 24mm to suit my Panerai. They didn't have any brushed steel anymore. They just had black PVD. So I asked for a polished steel with screw in. So this is a proper screw in one. This one is just a spring bar. Unfortunately, they gave me a 24mm buckle when really these straps do taper down to 22, so it doesn't exactly suit. But anyway, I'm just going to have to get this one replaced. So that's not really being used at the moment. So this one, I'm not swapping into it today. I have actually been using this for a few days, and you can see, it's nicely grained, and it's got that pattern there, which is of course taken from Panerai original dive rubber. Some of their, I guess, tougher watches, the Panerai submersibles and stuff. So it's really quite good looking. It's silicon rubber. It's pretty soft down here, but I have to say this bit here, the thicker bit, is a little bit stiff. So that bit here, it doesn't really bend a whole lot. So sorry, the focus is a bit off. Doesn't bend a whole lot, and when I bend it like that, it wants to squeeze that bit together. So it does pinch my wrist, unfortunately, and I'm actually on the second smallest hole, or even the smallest hole. I think mostly I use the second smallest, and that really wants to pinch it. I will put a screenshot here to let you see how it looks like on the wrist, and it holds the watch on it pretty well. It does look pretty good. But unfortunately, because of the stiffness of some sections of this rubber, this strap, it's not the most comfortable, and it does pinch and leave some impressions on my wrist. So this isn't a strap, unfortunately, that I will likely be going back to very much. But I think if you have a larger wrist, this would be fine. If you have more than 7-inch size wrist, I suspect this would sit fine on a 44mm Panerai on your wrist. Okay, so that's their silicon rubber pre-V. All links for products for you to see down below, to websites if you want to check them out. These straps all range from the cheapest being about 16 USD to the most expensive being this one, $29.99. This one I think is actually more like $19.99, and as are these kind of seatbelt NATOs. Okay, but the links are below for you to check out if you wish. Okay, next up, guys, this one I think is so far my favorite of the lot here. This is Dasari leather. I thought Dasari is something special or regional, but really it's the name of a company, I believe. So you can see here genuine leather and the company name there, Dasari. So I guess it's a collaboration with StrapsCo. This is 24mm and more than 3mm stick, which is perfect to go with my Panerai PAM 914. This absolutely lovely watch, which I've really been wearing a lot. Pre-V, brushed steel. I guess it's better to be polished steel, but it's brushed. It's okay. I don't mind that. And this, what they call tan color leather goes very, very well with this particular Panerai model, I think. And it's very supple, soft. Yes, it's got that flat side construction there, right? But nice stitching. That stitching color really goes nicely with the dial, I feel. And really looks great, doesn't it? I reckon it looks great. So let's just try it on the wrist for a wrist shot for you guys now. And there it is with my PAM 914. Fantastic. Really enjoy this. Really like this strap. I think this is going to be sitting a lot on my Panerai here. Great looking stuff. You know, just so easy. Good looking fashion design that Panerai is. So much time they must have spent working out the proportions of this watch just perfectly. Okay, next up guys. Next up is the classic women's leather. Nothing too special in terms of, you know, what this is. This is the women's Nord Green in 32mm, and I'm going to try this out. This is my wife's watch, you know, one of the watches I gave to her, and it's pretty nice, you know, nice and supple. You know, there's a bit of padding here which adds a bit of a, you know, nice feel to it. You know, nothing fancy, just a brushed steel buckle there, but they've done it pretty nicely, and it's a nice matte white to match this Nord Green, which is a nice fashionable look. I feel, you know, it comes with quick release straps, which is always a bonus. I always like having that. Okay, so I'm not going to say too much more. You can check out my men's Nord Green review if you haven't already in the past. And I'll put the links here for you to see that, of course, and just popping it on the wrist now. And here we have it, the 32mm Nord Green, right? Of course, men's watches used to be this small as well. I probably wouldn't choose to wear a watch like this size, but some guys might. And I would like to hear from you if you would choose to wear a watch like that. Women, you know, of course, it suits my wife's wrists a lot better, you know, thinner wrists. But I think this isn't proportionally suitable to me. But if you do, you know, wear watches like that, let me know. I would like to hear from you what, you know, I guess what drives your preferences for smaller watches. All right, next up, guys. This is the Atowak Ettore recent review. Very cool, very different, you know, kind of multi wandering hour type of design. 24mm blue seatbelt NATO is what this one is, right? The 24mm is the upper end of their size range. I don't think they go any higher. $19.99 USD for what is ostensibly a very good quality. I think this is up there with any other seatbelt NATO I've seen, right? Not woven, just smooth nylon, no pattern on it. Laser sealed, which is pretty nice. I think the holes have been done pretty nicely, and the hardware is perfectly solid brushed steel is what we're seeing here. Okay, and I think it suits this particular watch very nicely. I think most blue dial will probably suit this kind of dark blue very nicely. I think it's really quite a luxurious look to it. All right, so just gonna snap it on the wrist now for a wrist shot. And there it is, guys, the massive Atowak Ettore Drift with this dark blue seatbelt NATO. And it's very comfortable. They say it's comfortable, and I do agree. It is extremely comfortable. I wear it like this, and it does make it sit out a bit, but you know, with a bit more adjustment, you can get that sitting a bit nicer. I've just snapped it on quickly. All right, and that's it, guys. That's how that one looks like. And then last on the list here, of course, is this Bond NATO. I've left it in the packing. Pretty nicely packed, you know, nice, easy opening just there, and that's how it looks like out of the pack. Okay, nice seat belt, very supple, right? Haven't used this as much because I don't think it's, I think the blue just matches this watch much easier, but you know, if you wanted to change it out, that's the advantage of NATO, isn't it? It's just going to be very, very easy. Just going to do it live in front of camera for you guys now to see, you know, really show you how easy this is. So, you know, just a matter of getting the old strap out and then running it in here. Just about like that. And you want to size it so that, you know, that doesn't touch the buckle when it's resting flat. Doesn't want to touch the lugs there. Okay, just a bit further in, and that's really my preference. That's how I size or put on NATOs onto my watches, just like that, you know, just so that it's just out of range of the lug there. You're not getting any clanging, and that's how that looks, you know. Nice Bond NATO. Not sure if I will get to use a watch that matches this, but I guess any grey or black dial would match that pretty well. Just going to put on the wrist now for you guys. And there it is, you know, that is the seatbelt Bond NATO. Always like a Bond NATO, you know, just versatile stuff that goes with many watches. And most of our watches are probably black dial that can go with this pretty nicely. Okay, guys, so there we go. That's my review of the StrapsCo straps. Hope that was informative and enjoyable and something that you may or may not have seen. Let me know your thoughts if you have ever had any experience with StrapsCo. Let's flip the camera around now for the wrap up. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that quick fire review. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Always look forward to the discussion from my viewers. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. New content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys again next time.